Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Happy to be back. Happy New Year. Well, the 2016-17 Crucian Christmas Festival theme is honoring 100 years of our centennial past, embracing our present and future to last. And the celebration on the Big Island was in full swing for Juve this morning as revelers gathered at Hannah's Rest Corner from about 5 a.m. Then it was on to the Foods, Arts and Crafts Fair around noon at the Eliza McBean Clock Tower. The honoree this year was the Frederiksted Friedensburg Moravian Church for their 25 years plus participation in this event. Here are some highlights from the early morning celebration.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Friedenberg Moravian Church, Frederiksted Food, Arts and Crafts Fair. I am very happy, delighted today that the Frederiksted Friedenberg Moravian Church was selected to be honored this day at this food fair, because I know that they have participated over 20 years taking part in the food fair. A lot of the cooks in the Moravian Church have passed on, but as a youngster growing up, I remember a lot of the old tradition, Marfair, Queng Queng. So you know what I'm talking about. Queng Queng is cooked with joy.
I want everybody to have a very good time. I want to thank the police department for all the work that you are doing throughout the territory. I want to thank the folks in the festival committee for the job that you're doing. You're putting on you're really doing a very good job.
The Food and Arts and Craft Fair, this is a time where you can come out and get some of those delicacies that you don't always get. Okay, this is the place where you can come and find the things that you don't always get. What I always look for when I come here is strudels and rice. It's simple. That's all I want. Something simple like strudels. And I found it, so I'm happy. So you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the afternoon.
Now, many make their way nightly to the Crucian Christmas Festival Village near the Polly Joseph Stadium. The Rita Shiverton Centennial Village opened on Thursday, December 29th. In addition to all the foods, arts, crafts, and camaraderie, there was also a great lineup of nightly entertainment that continues. It included Cultural Night, Soca Monarch Competition, and Calypsonians. Let's take a look back.
Everybody put your hands in the air, let's go. Hey, I'm a friend named Choco. With a brand new dance. Come, let's dance. Hey, somebody must be Choco. Must be Choco. Let's go. Must be Choco. Must be Choco.
Great entertainment, and of course it continues. Let's take a look at the rest of the week. Wednesday, January 4th, that's this evening. It's Reggae Night in the Village. Thursday, January 5th, Latin Night, also in the Village. Now, Friday, January 6th, it's the Children's Parade. Saturday, January 7th, Adults Parade. The Children's Parade will begin at the Claudio Marco School, and the scheduled start time is at 10 a.m. The parade will proceed down King Street to the Village area. The Adults Parade participants will gather at the Claudio Marco School and areas to the south. On January 7th, the scheduled start time is 10 a.m. The parade will proceed down King Street to the Village area. Saturday evening, everyone heads back to the Village for Caribbean Night and the closing fireworks. Now, due to the preparation for our production team of the Crucian Christmas Festival parades, News 2 will be preempted by two specials. On Thursday, January 5th, Caribbean News will air that CBN Newscast. And then on Friday, January 6th, a special passport presentation will air. News 2 returns on Monday, January 9th. We will have a Crucian Festival wrap-up. Don't forget to tune in for the Children's and Adults Parades. Again, no newscast this week, Thursday and Friday. News 2 returns to air on Monday, January 9th. Now be sure to tune in to cable TV channel 4 for the best live coverage of the parades. Our live coverage of the Children's Parade starts at 10 a.m. on Friday, and then on Saturday morning, we'll see you again at 10 for the adults. Now, we'll have live interviews, all the troops, and of course, in addition to the live colorful coverage of the parades, you can watch the parades online. Tune in to watch the live streaming of TV2's coverage at /live.tv2.vi. And we're partnering up with www.visionary-1.com/livid-stream right there provided on the screen. We will also be providing that screen and that link right there on our NEWS2 Facebook page. Just be sure to go on and like NEWS2 on Facebook, and you can click on the link, and be sure to tune in for our live colorful coverage of the Children and Adults Parade again on cable TV channel 4. In other news, the VI Attorney General Claude Walker weighed in on the court case challenging the residency of Senator-elect Kevin Rodriguez. According to an update in the Daily News less than an hour later, the VI Supreme Court clerk weighed in on Walker's opinion and ordered it stricken from the record. In details, Walker wrote that Superior Court Judge Kathleen Mackay ruled correctly when she barred Rodriguez from taking the Senate seat that he won in the November 8 general election. He added that Mackay correctly applied a 4-part residency standard derived from a taxation case to Rodriguez's residency. Walker's office is also defending election supervisor Carolyn Fox in that lawsuit, and Assistant Attorney General Ariel Smith filed a motion seeking dismissal of the lawsuit prior to McKay's ruling. Be sure to count on 2 to keep you updated. In other election news, in accordance with the VI Code, officials elected to serve on the St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix Board of Elections were administered the oath of office by Magistrate Henry Carr III and Judge Harold Willocks this morning at Superior Courts on the Virgin Islands in both districts. The joint boards of elections will hold organizational meetings again on January 23rd in the St. Thomas Elections Office at 11:30 a.m. Meanwhile, election offices officials say an audit of voting precincts from the November 8 election turned up no discrepancies between voter counts at the polls and ballots contained in the voting machine boxes. The total cost of the audit was $1,225. Officials in the St. Thomas, St. John audited precincts on December 28th. And on St. Croix, the audit was conducted on December 21st. The process includes breaking the seal on a ballot container and counting the ballots inside to see if they match the numbers provided in a paper printout and a USB drive taken directly from the machine. Well, the St. Thomas St. John board, as we just mentioned, the members held an organizational meeting on Tuesday. St. Croix's District Board of Elections, they're scheduling their organization meeting for Thursday, January 5th at 9 a.m. at the St. Croix Election Conference Room. There is a new law mandating that the 2 district election boards be unified into one body. Some officials are calling the law too vague. The law stipulates that the board shall consist of elected members beginning with the 2018 general election, but also states it goes into effect on January 1st, 2017. The new law also increases the stipends for board members who attend at least one half of a meeting from $85 to $125 and full meetings from $100 to $150. During St. Thomas's organizational meeting, newcomer Maurice Donovan Jr. was elected as vice chairman to take over from former vice chairwoman Lydia Hendricks. Carla Joseph was re-elected as secretary, and Arturo Watlington re-elected as the St. Thomas St. John chairman. He also serves as chairman of the Joint Board of Elections. In other news, looking overseas, the Coast Guard suspended its search Tuesday at 9:55 p.m. for a cruise ship missing passenger from the MSC Divina near San Juan. The missing person was Jean-Pierre Noor, 74. Rescue crews searched for more than 35 hours, covering more than 2,000 square miles. Coast Guard was notified by the crew of the MSC Divina cruise ship of Noor's absence, who was last seen around Monday at 3 a.m., reported by his wife. Also in San Juan, Puerto Rico, thousands of people gathered to witness the inauguration of the island's new governor. Ricardo Rosello took the oath of office on Monday and assured citizens that he will tackle the economy and security during his term. The governor proposed several measures aimed at alleviating the crisis shortly after he was sworn in at midnight. Among them is a proposal to hold a referendum that will ask voters whether they prefer statehood or independence. Many argue that Puerto Rico's political status has contributed to its decade-long crisis that has prompted an exodus of 200,000 people fleeing to the U.S. mainland in recent years. An incident involving pesticide has left 4 children dead in Amarillo, Texas. Fire officials say someone at the home sprayed pesticide underneath the residence in northeast Amarillo. A person then tried to wash away the pesticide with water, resulting in toxic gas being formed. Authorities say 10 people were in the home when firefighters reached the scene Monday morning. A 5th person is in critical condition at an area hospital. It's believed the people in the home may have been breathing in the toxic gas for up to 2 days. Authorities say no charges are expected to be filed at this time. Here's more.
There was a fumigant that they were using to get rid of pests here. This fumigant contained a chemical called aluminum phosphide, and when mixed with water, it creates a gas called phosphine gas, which is highly poisonous.
Keeping our eye on the economy, it was a record year for Hollywood at the box office, but that result comes with one caveat. The box office ranked in $11.4 billion in 2016. Media tracking companies Comscore says that tops the previous year's record of $11.1 billion. However, the new high water mark in earnings is in part due to slightly more expensive tickets. In fact, Com.Score and Box Office Mojo both project overall attendance at movies last year to be the same as in 2015. The industry continues to get stiff competition from at-home streaming services, but a slate of big-ticket movie releases ahead in 2017 could still convince. Let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange. At the Stock Market Watch, according to that, the Dow up 60, NASDAQ up 47, and S&P 500 also up at 12. Coming up on NEWS2, a zoning change approved by the legislature on December 20th is getting much controversy. We'll have some details coming up. Welcome back. A zoning change approved by the legislature on December 20th is still receiving much talk, especially on social media. The measure was introduced by Senator Clifford Graham. The listed owner of the property is Development Partners International, LLC, headquartered in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That plan calls for a condominium development. Vesa Bay could see a nearby parcel of land developed into a 60-unit upscale condo. Bill 31-0500 was introduced and passed to rezone 2 parcels in the Cabrita Point section of Red Hook. A DPNR analysis of the project said as many as 20 residents had expressed some concerns during a July 18th hearing. The project, however, was DPNR approved on August 29th. While many are in support of job creation, land development, and more, according to Facebook, little clips right there, many are concerned about Vesa Beach, a favorite for many, that will be taken away. We will keep you updated. On Wednesday, January 4th, 2017, at roughly 10:27 a.m., the 911 emergency call center dispatched officers to the area of Estate Thomas in regards to a gunshot victim. Police say as they arrived to the scene, the victim was already placed inside of an ambulance to be transported to the Roy Lester Schneider Regional Medical Center. Officers observed that the victim sustained a gunshot wound to his head. They said on the same day at approximately 11:09 a.m., Lenny Hendrington Jr., 23, succumbed to his injuries. Now, the case is presently under investigation by the Homicide Task Force. Any persons having information regarding this incident, you are asked to contact the Investigation Bureau at 340-774-2211, extension 5569, or 340-714, and the number right there. And you can also contact 911 Crime Stoppers via at 1-800-222-TIPS, the Chief's office at 340-715-5548, or even the Commissioner's office at 340-715-5506. Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett officially began her second term in office after being sworn in as a member of the 115th Congress today. She said today. It allows us to continue our efforts on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands. It also marks a time of uncertainty as we begin the 115th Congress amid a high level of uncertainty and hostility nationally, as well as an incoming Trump administration that has raised questions and concerns for many of our residents back at home. In addition to anticipating tough battles, she says, to protect federal funding to critical programs that impact the territory's residents, Plaskett says she plans to continue pushing her legislative agenda in the 115th Congress. University of the Virgin Islands pleased to welcome Dr. Kevin Williams as its new Vice Provost for Access and Enrollment Services. Dr. Williams comes to UVI having served in leadership roles in enrollment, management, admissions and retention, and diversity, most recently at Talladega College in Alabama, but also at Mississippi Valley State University, Clark, Atlanta University, Morehouse College, Ross University, and others. Dr. Williams' primary focus will be on expanding the population of the territory stateside and international students enrolling at UVI through marketing, branding, outreach, and staff development. Well, Bill number 31-0379 to restrict the use of plastic shopping bags in the territory, that went into effect as of January 1st. Members of the 31st Legislature unanimously supported the proposal. The law requires businesses and organizations to utilize reusable bags or recyclable paper bags with the goal of eliminating plastic bags at point-of-sale checkouts. Plastic bags still will be allowed where no acceptable substitute exists. Penalties will not be assessed until April 1st. To allow the transition. Now, while most Caribbean islands have debated banning plastic bags, only a few jurisdictions have implemented restrictions. The legislation is part of the governor's waste minimization effort. There are exceptions, and we will explain that in a future newscast. Meanwhile, the Coral Bay community, the council, through a project funded by an EPA environmental justice grant, empowered involved youth in the St. John community. They worked together to get the word out about illegal dumping and careless disposal of trash into guts. They say the message is, if we keep the land clean, we will keep the ocean clean also. As part of 2 youth events held for 12 to 18-year-old students, which included gut cleanup walks, presentations, and a field trip, a public services announcement video was produced. And the CVCC thanks the student participants, the Island Green Living Association, VI Waste Management Authority, Frank Tullock, and videographer of that PSA, and the Environmental Protection Agency for their contributions to the program. Well, according to the Department of Health, the territory saw 39 new confirmed cases of Zika in the territory. So there are now 645 confirmed cases on St. Thomas, 196 on St. Croix, and 73 on St. John. The number of confirmed cases of dengue on St. Croix remains at 16, 35 on St. Thomas, and 2 on St. John. The number of confirmed cases of Zika in pregnant women increased by 14, from 106 to 120. The first baby of 2017 on St. Thomas was born at the Schneider Regional Medical Center, the hospital, at 3:44 a.m. on Sunday. Charlinson Charles, a boy, weighed 7 pounds, 13.2 ounces. His proud parents are Sibinson Charles and Elaine Alesmi of Haiti. Charlinson is the 3rd child born to Alesmi. He has a 5-year-old brother and 13-year-old sister. Meanwhile, the first baby born in St. Croix was delivered 2 days, an hour, and a minute after Charlinson at the Wanaflui Hospital. Hospital reps say the family requested privacy. Big congratulations to all the families. Well, they are calling the show a blast from the past. World-renowned R&B group Tony Tone. They're heading to the territory, and they will be performing at the Reichel Center on Saturday, January 17th. The remarkable group was formed in 1986. The trio consisted of Dwayne Wiggins, Raphael Sadiq, and Timothy Christian Riley. They released 5 dynamic albums from the mid-80s to late 90s. They have been touring around the world and performing in sold-out venues. Edward Laborde of Cutting Edge Entertainment, Inc. will be managing the group while they visit the islands. Be sure to check out the show.
For the artists that we have, you know, we let everyone know that, you know, you're definitely getting a performance that you would have to pay anywhere of upwards of, you know, $300 just to see these performances. There's no bad seat at Ryko. The covered, uncovered, upper uncovered, low uncovered, it doesn't matter. The party and the entertainment is going to be well received from any point in the whole entire venue.
And that was Ian Turnbull reminded us why you don't want to miss this show or any of the shows of the season down at the Ryko Center. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
Across the Caribbean continuing to die down throughout today. We take a look at our current satellite, not too much going on. This large area of high pressure out over the Atlantic as it slides east, that's bringing us some very light trade wind flow patterns and not a lot of cloud clusters in our region either. As we take a look at our current radar, not too much going on even in towards Puerto Rico. We will continue to see a couple of passing showers as well. As we head throughout tonight, mainly clear conditions. As I said, not the potential of any heavy downpours throughout tonight. For tomorrow, maybe a couple of showers in spots, but otherwise we are going to be mostly dry as well as quite sunny. So 84 degrees for our high tomorrow. Right now, not any warnings out on the water for small crafts with these lighter winds. So 2 to 4 feet, relatively choppy, but not as big as what we have been seeing over the past couple of days. On the Atlantic, winds coming out of the southeast, 10 to 15 knots. On the Caribbean, winds out of the east, 10 to 15 knots. Waves, though, still out at 2 to 4 feet. Here's a look at your extended forecast, continuing to see some very nice weather over the next few days. Throughout our weekend, we'll stay with that moderate trade wind flow. Shower in places, a couple of spotty ones, not anything that's going to bring too much precipitation. And as we head towards Sunday, we'll see mostly sunny conditions, but then heading towards the middle of next week, Monday into Tuesday, as well as Wednesday, we'll have a cold front drop into the region, bringing an uptick in moisture. So we'll be seeing a little bit more moisture as well as precipitation in towards the middle of next week as well. So make sure you stay tuned in to News 2 for all of your weather updates for the U.S. Virgin Islands, and enjoy the nice weather over the next couple of days. Back to you, Sandy.
Thanks for that. Let's take a look at our News 2 weather picture there. It is by Josiah Fredericks of Ricardo Richards Elementary School. Sharing this picture there, showing us some typical VI weather there, sunshine, clouds, and smooth sailing. Josiah, many are hoping for that for the rest of the week, especially for the parades over on the Big Island. Send us your News 2 weather picture to be featured right here to News 2, Innovative Business Center, 4611 Tutu Park, Suite 300, St. Thomas, VI 00802. And just a reminder before we leave you, the parades will air on cable TV channel 4, not on TV 2. So be sure to tune in to see live, colorful coverage of our adults and children's parade. And on behalf of all of us, have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.